They called 911 when little Emma disappeared from the school playground, but the quiet PTA mom standing in the corner already knew exactly where to find her. Because what they didn't know was that behind her minivan and bake sale cookies, Sarah Mitchell had spent 8 years hunting terrorists in Afghanistan. Sarah Mitchell attended every Tuesday 3:30 p.m. PTA meeting at Westfield Elementary, always sat in the same corner, close to the door where she could see all exits. The other moms knew her as Quiet Sarah, never spoke up, just took notes, made cookies for bake sales, picked up her kid and left. This Tuesday was no different. Sarah sat in her corner, listening to Principal Johnson's talk about school security. "We've upgraded our security cameras, installed card access on all doors," when suddenly alarms blared through the speakers. "Isn't this the lockdown drill?" asked Mrs. Henderson, PTA president. Principal Johnson frowned. "No, we had no drill scheduled today." That's when Sarah's posture changed. She straightened in her chair, turned her head, listened intently. These weren't 15-year mom reflexes anymore. These were 8-year combat veteran reflexes. The door burst open and security guard James rushed in. "6-year-old Emma Rodriguez is missing. She was playing on the playground. Now we can't find her." Panic erupted in the meeting room. Moms started screaming. Dads grabbed their phones. Everyone talked at once. "Call 911! Check all doors! Issue an Amber Alert!" Sarah stood perfectly still. Her eyes weren't a mother's eyes anymore. They were an Operation Commander's eyes. In her mind, she immediately started mapping. School layout, exit points, timeline, possible scenarios. "Ma'am, please stay calm. Police are on their way," said Principal Johnson. Sarah stepped forward. Her voice was calm but decisive. "How many minutes ago was she last seen?" "About 12 minutes, said the security guard. Sarah calculated quickly in her head. 12 minutes walking distance. If the child went on her own, maximum 800-meter radius. But if she was taken, did you check security cameras? "We're checking, but which cameras have visual coverage of the playground?" Sarah's questions weren't inquiries anymore. They were a briefing. Mrs. Henderson looked at Sarah strangely. "Sarah, when the police arrive, every minute police take to arrive, the child gets further away," Sarah replied sharply. "Emma's height and weight?" Principal Johnson answered in confusion. 4 feet 2 inches, approximately 60 pounds. Sarah quickly profiled in her mind. 6-year-old girl, average height, big enough to go on her own but small enough to go with strangers. What was she wearing today? Red sweater, blue jeans, white sneakers. Good. Visible colors. Sarah had unconsciously used military jargon. Then she caught herself. Noticeable colors. Security guard James looked suspiciously. "Ma'am, who are you to—" Sarah paused. How many times had she heard this question? In Afghanistan, in Iraq, in every new unit, before every operation. Could she explain who she was? How could she summarize 8 years she hadn't even told her family about? Sarah stopped. Then she looked at the panic around her. Until this child was found, it didn't matter who she was. "I know this work." Principal Johnson hesitated. "Police will be here in 5 minutes. Maybe we should wait." 5 minutes is too long, Sarah spoke definitively. "If Emma went on her own, she's scared and hiding right now. If she was taken, 5 minutes changes everything." Sarah pulled out a small notebook from her bag. Everyone thought it was a shopping list, but Sarah was sketching building plans in that notebook, just like she did before operations. "How many floors is the school and how many exits total?" 2 floors, 6 main exits, 2 emergency exits. Principal Johnson answered automatically. "Are there blind spots in the security system?" "Blind spots?" "Areas the cameras can't see." Principal Johnson looked at James. James's face reddened. "Behind the gym and the side of the kitchen." Sarah understood immediately. "Does Emma go to the gymnasium?" "Yes, she plays there a lot." Sarah drew quick lines in her notebook. "Child last seen on playground. Likes the gym. In an area cameras can't see." There was a pattern here. "I'll check." Sarah stood up. No. Mrs. Henderson panicked. "Let the police come first." Sarah turned and looked at her. For the first time in meetings, the real Sarah was visible. Decisive, commanding, making life and death decisions. "Ma'am, with respect, I spent 8 years searching for missing personnel. In Afghanistan, in Iraq, in places where people face death. I know this work." The room fell silent. The authority in Sarah's voice, the determination in her posture, the composure in her eyes. This wasn't the quiet PTA mom. "If Emma is in danger, every second is critical. If she's just hiding, I'll find her." Sarah closed her bag. "Give me 15 minutes. Principal Johnson's voice was uncertain. "But if I don't find her when police arrive, you'll know exactly which areas are clear." Sarah headed for the door. "And if I do find her?" She stopped at the door. turned back. I will find her. And Sarah Mitchell, who had detonated IEDs 8 years ago in Kandahar, breached enemy lines, walked 3 kilometers alone to save her team, went into operation mode in the hallways of Westfield Elementary. First stop, security camera footage. When Sarah entered the security room, James's hands were shaking. What time should we look at? Last sighting time -5 minutes. Let's establish timeline. Sarah looked at the monitors. 6 different camera angles, but most in static positions. There, James pointed. 3:18, Emma on the playground, playing tag with other kids. Sarah focused on the recording. Emma's body language, direction changes, interaction with other children. The child was happy, didn't look scared, probably not abduction. 3:23, she's no longer in frame, James continued. Rewind, slow motion. Sarah moved closer. There, Emma's running to the right. Which direction is that? Towards the gymnasium. Is there a camera in the corridor leading to the gym? No, blind spot like I said. Sarah stood perfectly straight. It was the same in Afghanistan. Areas intelligence couldn't see were the most critical moments. You said Emma likes the gym. Are there places she could hide there? Equipment room, storage areas, but they're all locked. Can a 6-year-old pick locks? James thought, the storage room door sometimes doesn't close properly. Bingo! Sarah completed the puzzle in her mind. Child ran from playground to gym, hid in storage room, probably thinking it was a game, but can't find way out, or is scared. James, stay here. When police arrive, tell them they'll find me in the gym. Sarah headed for the door. But don't go alone. Sarah turned. She spoke harshly for the first time. James, I searched for missing people alone in much more dangerous places. I can handle a 6-year-old. As Sarah walked through the corridors, every step was muscle memory from 8 years ago. Moving silently, listening for sound sources, scanning environment for potential threats. Westfield Elementary was no different from Kandahar base for her at that moment. When she approached the gym, she stopped, listened carefully. A very faint sound, crying. She slowly opened the gym door. Emma? She kept her voice soft. Emma, I'm Mrs. Mitchell from PTA. I came to find you. The crying stopped. Emma, don't be scared. You're not in trouble. Everyone's just wondering where you are. The storage room door was indeed ajar. Sarah slowly approached. Emma, do you want to come out? Your mom is worried. A small voice came. The door closed. I can't open it. Sarah sighed. Poor kid. She thought it was a game. Hid, then got scared. Emma, I'll open the door, okay? Don't be scared. When she opened the storage room door, little Emma was curled up sitting in the corner. Her eyes were teary, but she looked physically fine. Hey there, sweetheart. Sarah crouched down to the child's level. How are you? I'm sorry. I was just playing hide and seek. It's okay, honey. No problem at all. Sarah extended her hand to Emma. Come on, let's go back. Everyone's looking for you. As she brought Emma to the security room, she was surprised to see Principal Johnson and the entire PTA team waiting in the corridor. Emma, Principal Johnson was relieved. Where were you? She was hiding in the storage room, Sarah explained. The door got stuck. She couldn't get out. Mrs. Henderson looked at Sarah with amazement. How did you know where she was? Sarah handed Emma to Mrs. Rodriguez, her mother. Because I was once lost too, and I needed someone to find me. After Emma safely ran into her mother's arm, there was a strange silence in the PTA group. Everyone was looking at Sarah, but no longer as quiet Sarah. Principal Johnson approached. Mrs. Mitchell, did you have police training? Sarah paused. Could she tell the truth? 8 years military service, 3 deployments in Afghanistan, search and rescue operations, IED detection, personnel recovery. How could she explain these in a suburban PTA meeting? Military background, she said briefly. Oh, Principal Johnson's voice was respectful now. Thank you for your service. Thank you. This was Sarah's standard answer, but Mrs. Henderson was more curious. Were you in Afghanistan? Iraq? Sarah answered while packing her bag. Both. What did you do there? My job. Sarah headed for the door. She never gave details, but security guard James called after her. Ma'am, the way you handled this, it was professional level, really professional. Sarah turned. There was respect in James's eyes, the same kind of respect she saw in her soldiers' eyes in Afghanistan. James, good work today. Quick thinking, good information. Sarah's voice was a commander's voice. Keep that camera maintenance up. Blind spots are critical security vulnerabilities. Yes, ma'am. As Sarah was leaving, Mrs. Henderson ran after her. Sarah, wait. Yes? Why didn't you ever tell us about your background? Sarah stopped. She had asked herself this question too. Why had she hidden it? Because no one would understand. Because war stories didn't fit into bake sale conversations. Because she wanted to be a normal mom. Because, Sarah spoke calmly, here, I'm just Emma's friend's mom. There I was, someone else. But you saved that little girl today. Today was different. Sarah put her bag on her shoulder. Today being that Sarah was necessary. Mrs. Henderson nodded. We never knew. That was the point, Sarah smiled, a genuine smile for the first time. That's the beauty of normal life. Nobody has to know what you've done to get here. The following Tuesday, at the PTA meeting, Sarah was sitting in the same corner again, but she was no longer quiet Sarah in everyone's eyes. Principal Johnson was consulting her on security matters. Mrs. Rodriguez continued thanking her. James was sharing security reports with her. But the biggest change was in Emma. The little girl now ran and hugged her whenever she saw Sarah. "Hi, Mrs. Mitchell. Thank you for finding me." Sarah would accept those hugs, because those hugs didn't have Afghanistan's pain. Iraq's trauma wasn't there. There was just a child's sincere gratitude. After the meeting ended, as Sarah was walking to her car in the parking lot, a young man approached. Handsome, athletic, about 25 years old. "Excuse me, Mrs. Mitchell?" Sarah turned. "Yes? I'm Marcus Rodriguez, Emma's big brother." The young man's eyes had a familiar expression, that look veterans recognize in each other. "I returned from Iraq 6 months ago, 101st Airborne." Sarah understood. "Welcome home, soldier." "Ma'am, Emma told me what happened, and—" Marcus stopped. "My sister said, Marcus, Mrs. Mitchell found me the way you find lost things in scary places." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," Marcus continued, "for protecting my little sister the way someone protected your people over there. It was my honor." Marcus saluted, not a military salute, but a brotherhood greeting. "Ma'am, if you ever need anything, veteran to veteran." Sarah smiled. "Marcus, keep an eye on that school security. James is good, but more eyes are better." "Roger that, ma'am." As Sarah got in her car, she thought, maybe this wasn't why she was hiding it. Maybe she needed to share it. The responsibility, the experience, the protective instinct. Because there were children in the community. And protecting children, whether in Afghanistan, Iraq, or Westfield Elementary, was always the same mission. At the next PTA meeting, Sarah would sit in the corner again. But now she wouldn't just think about bake sale cookies. She'd think about security protocols, emergency response plans, and little Emma Rodriguez would smile every Tuesday when she saw her, because sometimes the safest place was next to the veteran in the quiet corner.